Sponsored by Kayak.
Police! No, it's not the police!
There's nobody.
Stay where you are! Police dog on the loose! Police!
Welcome to Christmas Crime UK. Christmas, the season of goodwill. Thoughts turn to the well-being of others and peace on earth. But there's another side to Christmas in the UK. Binge drinking fuels a festive season of violence and disorder, with over 150,000 alcohol-related crimes this Yuletide. And there's more hard-pressed bobbies on the beat to deal with the chaos than at any other time of the year. Coming up, this car goes on the run from the cops and realises there's no Santa Claus in the highway code.
The fuck was his fault?
There's no peace on earth, and the mercy is anything but mild for this drunk.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's Christmas in Carlisle, and for the police, things are starting to hot up. Acting Sergeant Mick Mills has heard that a car chase is in progress on the other side of town. It seems 4 cars are in hot pursuit of a red Escort estate.
Well, speed is now 50.
Because of the season, the cops think the car is stolen. 2/3 of all car theft happens in the run-up to Christmas. As the officer in charge, Mills radios for permission to set up a stinger trap.
Warwick Road. We've got authority for stinger of it.
Metal spikes are laid in the road that will stop the vehicle by bursting its tyres when it runs over them. While Sergeant Mills tries to catch up with the chase, more details are emerging about the pursuit. Other units have seen that there's a woman driving and a man in the passenger seat. The Escort passes directly in front of them, and they're now just 1 car behind as it turns into a narrow back street.
Roger, we are towards Warwick Road at this time. Stand by. That's what it's got. Watch the speed, weather conditions, etc. Weather conditions are fine, road to drive, speeds are about 40 at the time. It's left for Warwick Road.
The lead pursuit car says the red Escort is becoming dangerous and unpredictable. But police pursuit drivers are highly trained and begin forcing the red Escort into the waiting trap.
So right, Victoria Road towards Botchley. Expand out the way.
APS Mills is just 2 cars behind the Escort, but it shows no sign of slowing down. But they're closing in on the stinger site.
Well, we're setting up a stinger, Warwick Road.
The chasing vehicles begin turning the screws on the driver. But Mills decides to take a shortcut to the other side of the stinger site in case the Escort manages to dodge the spikes.
We're Mills Avenue towards Hollywell Crescent. So right.
As Mills arrives at the stinger, he can see the Escort racing towards him and the waiting trap.
Subject vehicle has been stalled.
The car has gone right over the spikes of the stinger, puncturing all its tyres. Mills rushes to apprehend the suspects, but suddenly the car's off again. But with all tyres out of action, they're not going far.
Just stay off him until he comes to a stop then.
Yes.
After just a few seconds, the car spins to a halt and the officers pounce.
2 in custody.
The cops grab the male passenger and lead him to the van.
Charles, digging. You got anything in your pocket?
What is it later?
You look, man, you fucking spotter!
Everybody all right, yeah? No one hurt?
With the man safely locked up, they question the female driver.
We've chased it through quite a number of streets, as you're probably aware. It's eventually been stung using a stinger device, and we've deflated 4 of the tyres.
After a dangerous chase like this one, the vehicle must be searched for evidence.
We were just searching for anything, any articles that may have been taken from a burglary or anything that they shouldn't have in the car, drugs or anything like that. There's nothing been found as yet. There's just a couple of empty cans of lager, which possibly suggest that the driver's been drinking. and that would again give the reason why they failed to stop from the police in the first place.
Christmas is the season of drink driving, and the police come down hard on offenders. Nearly 1 in 6 of all deaths on the road are caused by over-the-limit drivers.
The female driver is now being breathalyzed. She is actually negative. She's provided a negative specimen of breath. Initially we thought, because she smelt of alcohol, that she was actually over the prescribed limit. It would appear not.
The man was later charged with breach of curfew and the woman with failure to stop and dangerous driving. Christmas in St Albans, and officers Trevor Collett and Owen Davis are responding to a call.
Yeah, we'll attend. Just confirm it's an attempt, as far as we know, yes.
3 teenage girls have allegedly tried to rob someone in McDonald's.
Yeah, we're coming.
Police figures state that most crime increases in the run-up to Christmas, including robbery.
Good before they go.
As the officers approach, they see a group of teenagers getting drunk.
Stay there, please.
Amongst them are 3 girls matching the description of the suspects.
Where have you been?
6646.
Where have you been down McDonald's?
In Morrison,
Right, okay.
It's estimated in the UK that a quarter of all 15 to 16-year-olds drink to excess at least 3 times a month.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
What's all this for the camera?
I'm talking to you. Do you want to come over here?
I'll get the fucking camera away from us.
What's your language?
Yeah, we'll get the camera away.
The man who alerted police is at the scene to help ID the suspects.
All right, they'll find them. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yankee one.
Female robbers are uncommon, as in general men commit more offences in all the major crime categories. The accused girls are detained and begin arguing amongst themselves when suddenly one of their boyfriends is abusive to the officers.
You're under arrest, Section 5, public order. All right, you do not have to say anything,
I did
but
not
may
swear
on your
you.
defence.
Did I swear you?
You do not mention when
mate,
questioned
did I
something
swear
which
you?
you later rely on in
Did
court. Anything
I
you do
swear
say may be
you?
given evidence. Do you understand that?
Did I swear you?
Right, in the car.
This lad's drunken confidence is raising the stakes in what should be a straightforward situation.
Don't struggle, little boy.
Surveys show that a quarter of kids as young as 13 claim to be binge drinkers, rising to half of all 16-year-olds.
It's back round here. Floor.
His aggression forces the cops to get him on the ground to slap the cuffs on.
Back off.
With his mates around causing further problems, the officers call for assistance.
Yankee one, grab a few more units here now on the hurry up.
He's on
Duck your head down, sit in the back of that car. Head down, watch your head.
The boy is cuffed but simply won't stop resisting arrest.
I don't want you to get hurt.
He's now adding obstructing an officer to his list of offences.
Done that. Go away. Sit in the back of the car.
Get off my throat.
My hand isn't on your throat. One hand is stopping you moving
Your
forward.
hand was on my
Sit in the
throat.
back of the car.
Get off me, yeah? Get off me. Get off my hand.
Get in.
With the boy not cooperating and his mates getting aggressive, the police are struggling to control the situation.
I did not swear. Will you me go?
No. There you go.
The boy's pleas for release going nowhere, he starts to threaten the cops.
Down now.
I
Sit
swear you
yourself
get off
down.
my throat or fucking
Okay, please, just get off
Get off
it.
my throat.
It's just an example of where our resources get wasted. All we're talking about is a bunch of kids that are drunk, okay, causing us problems, probably because the cameras are here. We've got 3 double-crewed units dealing with something which is pretty basic to deal with. Young chap's been arrested for Section 5 public order, and because of his manner, the fact he's playing up, we've now got to get a van out to put him in. So it's just a perfect example of what we have to go to sometimes for very, very basic minor offences.
As PC Davis gets the boy into the vehicle, another drunken lad decides to kick off.
Get your hands out.
On my throat. I never even swore.
But the cops are having none of this teenager's antics.
Get your arm out.
You just,
Oi, let me up. Ah! My face. Stop pushing on my face, man.
While this youth is nicked, other officers have arrested one of the girls for the attempted robbery, as she's the only one identified by the witness.
yes,
No, mate, this is wrong.
Just so happens that the 3 females we had to speak to were amongst that group, and when you're dealing with young kids like that who have been drinking, you can't reason with them. You can only try and usher them away and get rid of them. 2 males have been arrested for Section 5 public order, not even related to the initial incident we came here for. And the young lady's been arrested for attempted robbery. So they'll all go back to St Albans custody and we'll deal with them there.
The 2 boys were eventually given fixed fines of £80. The girl is pending bail and may go to court if the victim presses charges. It's the run-up to Christmas in Cambridge, and Sergeant Nick Smith has been called to trouble in a local pub. This Christmas, the government has pledged £2.5 million to tackle booze-induced disorder on the streets.
We're just about to pull up at the Bird in the Hand public house where there's been a knife incident early this evening. Somebody's just been arrested in possession of the knife and somebody's been threatened. So we're just literally going to pick the prisoner up from there and take them back to Parkside.
Arriving on the scene, Sergeant Smith is greeted by a Christmas surprise in stockings.
You better piss off, you little bitch.
To search it properly within reason. Carlo, can you just turn the pockets out in your jacket for me, please?
I've got no drugs.
The suspect is a transsexual.
We'll put it back in your pocket then.
Have we recovered a knife?
That is a £5.
All the officers on the scene are male, so no one is allowed to search the suspect for the weapon. Under British police guidelines, women need to be searched by a female officer.
You coming straight back?
Yeah, we'll follow you back.
All right, cheers.
All Sergeant Smith can do is take her back to the Nick.
The knife which has been used in the incident hasn't yet been recovered. Officers are looking for the knife. We have got the suspect on board and they are going back to the police station to be booked in. Suspect is in fact a transsexual, which will pose a certain problems searching the individual when we get back to the police station.
Back at the station, the suspect feels she hasn't been treated like a lady.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah, but you should fucking break up to fucking more people than me. I'm just a bender who used to be a man, do you know what I mean? And you've arrested me.
Sergeant Smith has had enough and hands her over to the custody sergeant.
You're a prisoner, I believe, gentlemen.
A female officer is on hand to search the prisoner.
I bet you think that's your big job.
Figures show violent crime rises a staggering 10% at Christmas.
Watch your step.
I bet you think that's your big job, don't you? Over the people.
85% of all violent crime is committed by men, with women accounting for the other 15%. No knife was found and the lady was released without charge. Still to come. More Christmas brawling leaves one man unconscious in Workington.
Alan. I'll stay with us, darling.
And this man's in trouble with the cops and his girlfriend in Carlisle.
Pick, sponsored by Kayak.
Cases of anxiety in young adults are rising.
We've a tractor full of amazing Christmas food like British whole turkey, $3.49 a kilo, and British turkey crowns, $7.99 a kilo. Morrison's, make good things happen.
How does Energizer compare? Which tested Energizer Ultimate Lithium AA batteries and awarded them a Which Best Buy for disposable batteries? Energizer Ultimate Lithium, our longest lasting AA battery.
This summer, holidays are go with Jet2 Holidays. So go with 4- and 5-star hotels. And 22 kilograms of baggage included. Don't miss out. Book now with just a £60 deposit per person. Holidays are go with Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. ABTRA National Protected.
Experience it all with GrosvenorCasinos.com. As the home of casino for over 50 years, we know what counts. There's something for everyone. with all your favourite slots and table games. And with thousands of daily prizes to be won, take a spin on the Wheel of Wins. Win cash, free spins and bonuses. Free to play every day. GrosvenorCasinos.com. From our home to yours.
It all started with one man, Filippo Berio. His signature, our promise.
Now we don't come again, Mr. Selector. This one going out to my daughter, you need connection. Big bang. This one is for you. Speed up to my team, I got a legacy,
That one was for my dad.
Virgin Media, the UK's fastest major broadband provider.
I'm Imelda May. I'm a singer, songwriter, poet, Dubliner. Many of our exciting younger poets bring traces and rhythms of other places and cultures to their Irish experience. They are true innovators. It's been wonderful spending time in the company of such a diverse range of creative minds and voices from Ireland past and present.
In Ireland, art feels like magic.
Voices of Ireland, Tuesday at 7 on Sky Arts.
They don't remember Peter.
How could they? He never existed. He served his purpose.
I've been seeing him in my dreams for the past 3 weeks.
We have to find him. The timeline has been rewritten. He was erased, and yet traces of him continue to bleed through.
There was a man in the mirror. He was here, and then he was gone. I saw him!
Break the Timeline. Fringe. Weeknights at 10 on Pick.
What's on your list for Santa?
I've had a lifelong passion for teddy bears.
I've always liked being chased by redheads.
Hoping to get my first car.
Good for you, Red Square Moscow.
So the Chaser, bring it on.
Time to bring on the Chaser.
Surely you mean ho, 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 ho.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Wishing you a very Merry Chasemas.
Just another day at the office.
Every day on Challenge.
Bring the cinema home this Christmas.
The pack stays together.
That's my girl. So this is the famous Suicide Squad. I'm gonna live forever!
Bring the cinema home.
Pick, sponsored by Kayak.
Welcome back to Christmas Crime UK. Christmas time, mistletoe and crime. In the festive period, boozing rises 41% and is left to the cops to pick up the pieces. Still to come, in Carlisle, behind every great drunk man is a great drunk woman. It's Christmas in Cumbria, and officers Mick Mills and Craig Irving have just received a call. CCTV cameras have just spotted a brawl outside a bar in the centre of town. This festive period, all 43 police forces across the UK are determined to crack down hard on drunken disorder.
Just attending a report of a disturbance at Bar Suede, which is just round the corner from us here.
As they arrive on scene, they spot two men throwing punches on the other side of the street. They act fast to separate the men. The man in the white shirt is harder work and is swiftly taken to the ground by Officer Mills. As he's placed under control, it appears his girlfriend might be an even bigger problem. Other officers are now on scene and grab the hysterical girl. While the boyfriend gets cuffed, his partner, still screaming, is thrown in the back of the van.
Speak to the bouncer, man.
It's estimated that nearly 80% of assaults at this time of year are alcohol influenced. For this man and his girlfriend, it may not be such a Merry Christmas, as it looks like he'll be facing a hefty fine. This sort of disorder is no surprise at this time of year.
Obviously, he wasn't for coming quietly. He wouldn't do as he was told. We were trying to handcuff him. He was struggling quite violently, and the easiest way to deal with these people is to take them down to the ground.
Acting Sergeant Mills is used to sustaining injuries.
I've got cut knuckles.
As well as the man in the white shirt, the other man originally fighting was also detained. They both received public order fines. It may be Christmas, but Sergeant Paul Brown is making sure things don't get too merry in the northwestern town of Workington. As the clubs close, the streets fill with drunken punters. The cops are watching a large group of Christmas revellers making their way home. In particular, one man in a beige t-shirt sticks out, as years of reading body language tell the cops he's gearing up for a fight. When he breaks away from the pack, they decide to follow. As they get closer, the man attacks another group and they rush into action.
Hey! Back it in, mate. Calm down. 615, some back up outside of Fusions, please. Come on, mate.
They quickly detain the man in the beige shirt, while friends attend to his victim, who's gone down with a blow to the head. The man who threw the punch claims it was in return for an earlier attack on his friend.
Somebody picking on my lobby from Lord. 7.5 stone.
Oh, man, keep soft up.
But as he did it directly in front of the cops, he won't get much sympathy.
We'll do arrest on suspicion of assault at the moment.
Concern is now for the injured man, who appears in a bad way.
Stay with us, darling. Sorry, what? We're still sorry for you. Alan, don't go to sleep, darling. Alan?
The male is talking. He's on the ground at the moment. He's got a nosebleed. He's just with his friends. He's very groggy. It's a good punch to the face that I've actually witnessed.
They finally get him to his feet, but he's very unsteady. One of his friends is angry and decides to take it out on the cops.
Did you see that?
I saw it, yeah.
That's
why I've locked him up.
No, Nick, I better get away with a fine.
But
some are more concerned about their clothes.
10 minutes here. Do you want to take it in 10 minutes, mate? Not at the moment. Just leave it there,
Well,
mate.
you may as well fucking take it, lad, because it's fucking there.
Is that yours, is it?
Well, it was mine. Till I put it on his fucking leg.
An ambulance arrives to take away the injured man.
There seemed to have been some altercation and the group walked away, and all of a sudden the lad who we ended up arresting marched into the group and just started punching the victim around the head and knocked him to the floor.
At Christmas, partygoers drink 40% more than usual, leading to a dramatic increase in violent disorder. The arrested man was eventually charged with assault. Across the other side of the country, in Durham, police are out in force to make sure that holiday celebrations don't get out of hand. Year on year, it's estimated that violent crime rises by 13% in the run-up to Christmas. Several officers are already having words with some rowdy lads when PC Ellis spots a fight kick off across the street. With so many cops on duty, the brawl barely gets started. This man can hardly believe his Christmas is turning out like this. The other fighter comes more peacefully.
What's basically happened there is there's two lads been fighting in the street. They've started kicking off with each other. We just dragged them apart. I know my lad's been locked up for a fray and the other one for a similar offence.
This Christmas, the government have pledged £2.5 million to fight drunken disorder, and the cops now have zero tolerance for this type of alcohol-fuelled scrapping. Both lads later received £80 fines for drunken disorder.